MV Kestrel Northern, North Pacific Crossing, Day 17, Busan to Long Beach. Cargo secured, crew asleep, all systems normal. Shortly after 3:30, the load monitoring system began its routine overnight sweep. Thousands of measurements passed without incident. Weight distribution remained stable, nothing unusual, nothing requiring attention. Most of these readings would never be reviewed by anyone. There was no reason to think this night would be different. At 3:33, the system registered something unexpected, a weight variance, 180 pounds. No crew were scheduled to be there. No cargo operations were taking place. The system flagged the reading and waited. It didn't disappear. 77 seconds later, the reading moved, about 3 paces. Then it moved again. Same interval, same weight. Again. The officer on watch opened the camera feed. Equipment failure was the obvious explanation. Investigators checked the system responsible for the reading. Calibration, network diagnostics, hardware integrity. Everything passed. No faults, no drift, no communication errors. Before the event, during the event, and afterward, the system behaved normally. Only the reading remained. The cameras saw nothing. Thermal imaging saw nothing. A crew member was sent to inspect the section. He found nothing unusual, nothing visible, nothing audible. Another full diagnostic followed. Again, every system passed. The equipment wasn't failing. Yet the reading continued moving. By the end of the initial review, the situation had become difficult to explain. The weight reading was real. The cameras agreed. The thermal systems agreed. The diagnostics agreed. No mechanical explanation could be found. The investigation continued. Attention shifted away from the event itself. Investigators searched older voyage records. They were looking for anything similar. The results came back. Different voyages, different crews, years apart. Yet the event never changed. 47 records in total, spanning 4 years. The anomaly hadn't started recently. It had simply gone unnoticed. Investigators reconstructed the route, not from one voyage, from 4 separate crossings, different crews, months apart. Yet the route remained almost identical. The same turns, the same pauses, the same destination. Something wasn't drifting. Something was repeating. Then investigators compared that route to the ship as it exists today. Something was wrong. The path crossed empty sections. It paused where nothing existed. It changed direction for no apparent reason. The route wasn't random, but it didn't belong to this ship. Historical engineering records were retrieved. Older deck plans, layouts that no longer existed. And for the first time, the route made sense. Structures removed years earlier matched the recorded turns. Former access points matched the recorded pauses. Walls that no longer existed explained changes in direction. The anomaly wasn't responding to the ship as it exists now. It was responding to the ship as it used to be. Every recorded event ended in the same place, the port bow, near the anchor windlass. Cross-referenced with the older layout, the location had a name: Cabin 214, single occupancy crew quarters, removed during the 2019 refit. Every route ended at the former doorway. The weight would pause, then disappear. For the first time, investigators knew where the route ended. They still had no idea who it belonged to. By now, one thing had become clear. The route wasn't connected to any current operation, it wasn't required for navigation, and it wasn't compatible with the ship's present layout. So the investigation moved to personnel records, specifically Cabin 214. The search returned a single crew member, an able seaman, deck operations, assigned to Cabin 214 for 3 years. Nothing unusual in the file, nothing remarkable. His off-duty movements followed a familiar pattern. He finished his shift. He walked the same corridor. He headed in the same direction. And every time he ended at cabin 214. At first, the explanation seemed simple. The route looked like a habit, a crew member returning to his quarters after a shift. And for a while, investigators believed they had their answer. Then older records surfaced. Fragments of the same pattern appeared before his assignment. Not complete, but recognizable. The same direction, the same destination. He hadn't created the route. He had inherited it. Attention shifted again, this time beyond MV Kestrel Northern itself. Older fleet records revealed another vessel. Different crew, different era, different layout. Yet parts of the same pattern appeared there too. Not identical, but familiar. The direction, the destination, the habit. It was all there. Long before cabin 214. Long before the man who occupied it. A single person could no longer explain the pattern. Investigators had found someone connected to it, but they had not found someone responsible for it. The evidence pointed in only one direction. The route was older than the people who followed it. Individual attribution failed. The investigation continued, and the archive continued to grow. More records extended the history. None explained the origin. None explained why it persisted. Eventually, the search reached the limit of available records. The records expanded. The answer never did. Final review produced no explanation. No mechanical process accounted for the pattern. No operational procedure explained it. No individual could be identified as responsible. And no current configuration of the ship contained the answer. Several facts remained uncontested. Cabin 214 no longer exists. The crew member retired in 2018. The route remains active. Recovery file status, open. Shortly after 3:33, the load monitoring system registered a weight variance. The cameras saw nothing. Thermal imaging saw nothing. Every diagnostic passed. The route was reconstructed. The records were searched. The ship was rebuilt. Cabin 214 disappeared. The crew member retired. The reading remained.